Welcome everyone to the Wings Cast, broadcasting live from the Watchtower hovering above Earth, where we specialize in terrible gold. Here with us today, in the advanced confines of our station, we have the man of many myths, legends strewn about him for every hair follicle that graces his chin and cheek. A man whose beard makes dwarves envious and keeps his face warm. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you McBeardy.
It does keep my face warm. That's true.
Also here with us is the guru of the internet. He knows his USB ports from his PS2 ports. He is the man with the corgi affections and is always connected to the interwebs. Some would even say that he is more machine than man. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Twiggets.
I'm surprised you know about PS2 connectors.
We're not all technologically impaired there, student.
Alright.
And lastly, I present myself, Sir Felipe El Magnifico, Master of Ceremonies, Space Knight, and all-round Jack of all trades. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the cast.
Now, if you had brought up like a serial port or something along that, I'd be like, get out, you old man.
I was thinking about it. Oh, folks, it's been a great time up here, and you know, we always talk about different subjects. Today, we're going to talk about the villains and give the villains a time to shine here in the Watchtower.
It wouldn't be light
Yeah.
without the dark.
That's right.
You can't debate that, really.
So this is how it's going to work. We each came up with a category in comics, movies, and video games, and we came up with our top pick for each and every one of those. We're going to debate them, give our little reasonings as to why we think that they're the baddest of the bad in that category, and we'll go about it from there.
Because we're bad to the bone.
That's right. That is right. Okay, so let's start with the comic book villains.
Ooh, leading off with the comics.
That's right, we're going to start off heavy and strong.
Strong.
Side.
Speaking of strong there, Twiggets, what you got?
Yeah.
Alright. I present to you all Doomsday from DC.
Doomsday.
Interesting choice there.
Yep.
Please, enlighten us to your reasonings,
Well-
my good sir.
Yeah, reason us up.
Reason number one on this man's resume. Killed Superman.
That's a good reason. I mean, I can't even debate that.
I mean, when you got that on your resume, it's pretty much you're pretty much guaranteed.
I mean, if you want to get a technicality, he didn't really kill him, but that's another point.
Yeah,
you know.
everybody thought he was dead.
Well, that's true. Everybody did think he was dead, and I mean that's impressive.
But who
It's
really
impressive.
dies in comic books, though?
Nobody.
Well, no, Superman didn't actually die at all. Like Superman's like a battery, and he just kind of ran out of energy. And he's a solar battery that was be put in the sun for a while, and he would recharge back up, woke back up. But they buried him so he didn't get out in the sun, and his robots came and stole him and put him in a solar chamber, and so he never actually died. But I mean, he did get taken all the way down to almost death, basically. I mean, like Twiggett said, everybody thought he was dead, so close enough. All right, now that I've stopped the thing, what the hell?
And on top of that, I've been recently informed that he is like an evolutionary biomachine that cannot be killed in the same manner twice.
Well, he can do.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
That little
So
tidbit.
it's basically he just keeps on coming back, and he keeps coming back stronger.
That's true. He does. I mean, as villains go, it's pretty impressive, really.
It is.
I mean, he's debate this one too bad, except for the fact that I'm just throwing it out there. He's a one-trick pony.
Yeah. And what's his personality like? Or like, what's his motivations in life? What is
Oh, he
he? What is
likes
he?
long reaches on the beach.
He doesn't. No, that's not. No, that's
Staring
true.
at
That's
sunsets with
false.
his long lost puppy dog that he found named
That
Rex.
is. He doesn't. He doesn't have a puppy. He doesn't. No. His sole motivation is just destruction. That's it. He's a one-trick pony.
He has a
He's a
large
smash.
collection of Legos. He has a
He,
one-to-one scale of Metropolis on his own planet in
he
Legos.
does. He does not. That is not true.
I
You're making things up
I
now.
am reading the Wikipedia entry about Doomsday right
You
now.
you are you are a liar,
That's
sir.
He used to
No,
be a blonde, but now is brunette. He is also a Sagittarius.
he has no hair.
If you knew the guy that I knew, you would be laughing
Nobody
too.
nobody knows the guy that you know.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you what though, if he's a Sagittarius, that makes him very compatible with the Capricorn.
there you go. All
What?
you Capricorns out there that like beaches, sunsets,
And
long walks
destroying
on the pier,
superheroes.
destroying superheroes, playing with Legos.
When did this happen? What? When did we go veer so far off course?
He's still a villain. So, okay, in a touch of a bad side. You need a touch of a bad side in you.
Ah, you're killing me.
Speaking of killing, Hank McBeardy, what about your comic?
Remember, we still call him Hank McBeardy around the watchtower. It's a informality here.
Well, it's all right. I'll let you guys get away with it. No one else though. I'll take pieces of my beard out and stab
If
people.
if you laugh, it ruins the cover-up, Felipe.
That's true. Uh, no, I picked a guy who's not a one-trick pony. He's more than that. He is I mean he's
Two-trick pony.
shut up. No, Darkseid, also from DC. But I mean, good grief, the list of things this man is doing.
Tell me about it.
He's trying to take over the universe, not just the world or anything. He's the universe. He's ready for it all. He comes from a race known as the New Gods, and he is the most powerful among them, which means he's the greatest god of them all.
Well, that's definitely. And he also created Doomsday, did he not?
He had a hand in it.
Yeah, he had a hand in creating Doomsday.
So
So
what you're
He had
telling
a
me,
hand.
he's handsome, ambitious, wealthy. All you ladies out there.
I have no. Are we setting him up with an eHarmony account? What are we doing here?
Yes.
it'd have to have like a cautionary tale underneath though, because
Yes.
he's got the Omega Beam.
He does have the Omega Beam.
That's like the last beam.
It can it can disintegrate. It can erase you from existence.
That's
Is what it
also
can
why
do.
it's called the Omega Beam.
Yeah, it can literally like erase that you were ever alive.
Which also
As in like memory?
alters.
Like
Yeah,
it takes you out of existence. Like you never existed if he hit you with this. If he
basically,
wants it to be so.
basically the timeline
What
shifts every
politician
time.
doesn't want that? Nudge, nudge.
Oh, nudge, wink, wink. Wow.
Uh,
I mean,
Continue,
not to
Felipe?
mention,
Oh, never mind. Already
not to
been interrupted.
mention, I mean, he has
Times.
the same type of powers as Doomsday, physically speaking, and he has telepathy, telekinesis. He is, being as he's a god, he's immortal, and he also is just a genius. He has superhuman intellect. I mean,
I mean, should we even be
the
using
guy.
human intellect levels at this point?
That's why I said superhuman.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Jack Rabbit.
say even something like, I don't know. Superhuman seems like it cuts it short.
Uh-huh. I mean, he's all right. He's really, really smart. How's that?
Okay. He's
What
like
do you
the
want me to
Albert
say?
Einstein.
Of supervillains, yeah. Yeah. There are not many who compete with him, mentally speaking. How's that?
Well, Brainiac.
Who cares about Brainiac?
I mean, in form of intelligence. I mean, if your name's Brainiac, you better be somewhat smart.
All right,
Is he?
fine.
Is he smart? Is Brainiac smart?
he is smart. Last time I heard, all he wants is pants.
Okay.
Pants?
It's from a Boomerang commercial.
All we have is
Oh.
Oh no, what's that word? Knickers. There it is.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, I mean, he stands up to Superman. He can take a punch from Superman and not go down. That's pretty impressive.
How do they fight this dude?
Darkseid?
Yeah.
You have to have the entire Justice League to fight Darkseid.
Okay.
They all have to be together, or else it's just not good.
Or else it's just Superman doing all the work.
Even Superman himself can't take down Darkseid.
What does Batman do in this situation? Watch?
Batman does things.
Yeah, he does what Batman does best.
Watch?
He investigates, and he.
There are two people in the universe who have dodged the Omega beams of Darkseid, and that is Superman and Batman. That's it.
How did he dodge it?
Because he's Batman. I don't freaking know. I
Got
didn't
it.
write
Deus
the
Ex
comic book.
Machina. Got it.
No. Batman predicted it.
I didn't write the
How
comic.
big is this beam?
I mean, it shoots out of his eyes. So
Oh, okay. So it's dodgeable.
Yeah. No, it's not like the Dragon Ball Z variety where it's just like a big fat beam. I'm firing my laser.
Yeah, I was thinking like.
you know the beam that Superman shoots out for his heat vision and shit?
Yeah. Same
It
thing.
looks about like that. Yeah. According to the comic book, lore, if you will.
Mm-hmm. The ever-changing.
I present to you again Darkseid. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Very reasonable, powerful choice. My villain for the comic books is Lex Luthor. Now, compared to the other two villains posted, Lex Luthor is not the strongest. He has no powers whatsoever. But what he does possess as a form of a power is financial wealth and intellect. Now, he might not be as smart as Darkseid, but as far as a human goes, he is pretty dangerous. He has always had the Justice League fighting him at every angle. He's got his hands in every cookie jar imaginable, and he's always a threat of some kind of variety. You would normally think that if you have stuff like Darkseid and Doomsday running around, why would we ever worry about little old Lex Luthor? Well, Lex Luthor is always there plotting. He's always making alliances. He's always finding a way to get better and get back at everybody. This is how he is. And because he's got, corporate power, he's kind of like the villain from Lethal Weapon. He's got that diplomatic immunity because Superman can never just beat the crap out of him because it just wouldn't work. So he actually, in a lot of ways, he beats Superman just on that level alone. Like, he can't even touch him as a result of that. I just think he's the top villain because he just for someone who does not have any powers, he does and causes so much trouble for everyone. And he is dangerous. He's the embodiment of like corporate greed and destruction. Just if you give him just an inch of power, he takes it and goes to the extreme with it. And he's built suits in the past which have made him on par with several of the supers. Such. So I mean, just
I don't know. He's still just a man.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
One well-placed bullet to the head, and it's over for him.
It's never happened. That's the thing.
I'm just saying.
Because good guys don't kill.
That's true. I'm just saying. Say, some regular human finally figures out, hey, Lex Luthor's a bad guy. Shoots him in the face. It's over for him.
But they never do they?
I'm not saying they have. I'm just saying.
That's a writing thing. We can't end the villain like that.
I'm just saying. He has the unfortunate disadvantage of being mortal.
I don't want to diss the Lex Luthor talk, but what happens if Doomsday is hit by the Omega Beam?
He disappears.
So he can't recover from that? He can't get over that?
I mean, it depends on which Omega Beam he uses.
There's several.
There's two.
Oh.
Well, there's the concussive force, or he disintegrates and you go away.
Why would you ever not want to do that?
Disintegrate somebody?
Yeah.
If you're just trying to knock them down, say it's an ally who's done something you disapprove of, you just knock them out real quick. Be like, yeah, don't do that again.
Okay. So Lex Luthor, not that.
All right, let's throw the gun thing away though. 60 years from now, Lex Luthor being a man in his 40s, he's over. It's done. Done.
No, it's not. He's even more savvy. Look. Here's the thing.
He'll
He's
be 100. He's dead.
he won't be dead. He'll find a way to keep himself alive.
I'm calling BS on that one. What about you, Twiggets?
Yeah, I'm saying age. Time is the ultimate killer, and I'm
Yep.
pretty sure
For a human
that the
who
other two.
has no powers, he
Oh,
causes.
we're not debating that he's not good.
Okay.
We're debating that he is human. That's his limit. That's why he can't be the ultimate, because his limit is humanity.
Like, I know we're supposed to pick a winner, but this dark side guy, he's sounding like the winner here.
Yeah.
I mean, like it would be the Twickett's thing to argue Doomsday, but I can't against that.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, Darkseid is written as to be the embodiment of evil, so.
And then like after even the Doomsday losing to the Ray thing, I was hoping that maybe I could squeeze in a chance.
Yeah, I mean he can fight Doomsday on the level of Superman. So I mean, Superman beat Doomsday down. So can Darkseid.
Once.
I'm not saying this. I'm just saying. Darkseid has, depending on.
If we gave Doomsday enough time, do you think it could beat Darkseid?
No,
Well,
because the Omega Beam would always get him.
Darkseid's immortal. He can't die.
Okay, have these two fight each other forever. Who would give up first? Who wants it more?
Darkseid would probably move on from Doomsday. He'd find a way to put him in a cage or something, because Darkseid has bigger issues than just killing a dude. He's just like, I'm here to take over the galaxy.
His
But I don't
goal
think
might
either
be
one of-
too big. Ever think of that? Might be too much.
I'm not saying it's too big, but
Yeah,
that's
but
his goal.
he's descended from a race of gods. It can never be too big.
It's true. He is a god. You don't forget that fact.
Goddish.
Not just a god in the DC universe, but the most powerful of his race of gods.
Oh, doesn't he have the anti-life equation?
Actually, yes, he does.
Yeah, there you go. There's that thing that we're talking about. The anti-life equation.
Yeah.
Felipe, would you be kind enough to explain the anti-life equation? To
The
Mr.
anti-life equation is basically the ultimate answer to life.
Sounds like the ultimate like.
Well, I mean, it's like, think of it as the Omega Beam, but it's in the format of a mathematical equation that you can use to basically recreate the entire universe if you so desired.
Use how? Like if I put my graphing calculator, it's gonna.
No.
Destroy.
I forget how it works exactly in the specifics.
Is it chemistry? Physics?
No.
It's
No.
been established as a something you can learn
Yeah.
that gives you the power to dominate the will of any sentient creature. So basically, you can control whoever it is you want, basically.
That's an odd name to give an anti-life when all it does is dominate you.
Well, I mean, the reason behind it is that if you possess control over somebody absolutely like that, then they're not really alive.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
They're like a puppet.
That's true.
Okay.
So he can make puppets of anybody he wants.
What about Batman? Can he make a puppet out of Batman?
Well, no, they have to have a certain. He has to break them down to a certain level. But even Batman has the, I guess, ability, I suppose, inside himself for that. I have pulled up here this thing from it's the current equation that was established in 2005 miniseries. Darkseid gained control of the anti-life equation, which is revealed to be loneliness plus alienation plus fear plus despair plus self-worth divided by mockery divided by condemnation divided by misunderstanding times guilt times shame times failure times judgment equals where hope and folly, love lies, life, death, self-dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of crap. That's it, basically. So as long as any person has any of that inside of them, guilt, shame, fear, judgment, self-worth, despair, blah, 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 then they can be guided upon to use the anti-life equation to take control of them, basically.
That's just anyone in the Jerry Springer show.
That's true. Jerry Springer people would all be under the control of dark side. If you want to go with weird versions, Smallville, he took over Green Arrow in that TV series with the anti-life equation. So,
Okay.
All right.
so obviously, I'm going to vote for Dark Side myself because I've heard nothing to outweigh that.
Yeah, I'm voting for Dark Side.
Not fair.
Twiggets?
Yep, I already got him.
All right. Dark Side unanimous.
Dark Side is the winner.
Moving on.
To the movie villains.
Movie villains.
Twiggets, let's start with you.
All right. Now, my movie villain. Well, I'm picking one. It's more of a species of villain.
Mm-hmm.
And by that, I refer to the xenomorphs from the Alien movies.
Excellent.
That's a decent one. Yeah, yeah.
Because we all know what they do. They
explain your reasoning.
Yes, like they will just latch onto your face, put their baby in you.
Mm-hmm.
You feed its baby. It bursts out, more than likely killing you. I don't want to give anybody any doubters out there.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
Pretty good chance.
Yeah,
It'll be a really good show. And then it turns into like a freaking killing machine, climbs everywhere, blood is acid, really hard exoskeleton. I don't even know if they actually need to eat because they don't really seem to eat you. They just kind of rip you apart.
That's a debated theory
Yeah.
in the aliens community.
And then like you had like in Aliens 3, like they started taking on like bestial forms, and then you got your queen who's just pumping out babies. And according to AVP, the queen can be in like a cryogenic state for like like 20,000 years or something, and then just start pumping out eggs as soon as she gets reawakened.
Let me ask a question. Outside of AVP, has the aliens ever made it to Earth?
No.
No, not that I know
No.
of.
Okay. But they weren't. I mean, I've seen first Alien vs Predator. I haven't seen the Requiem.
I haven't
But
either.
that's the only time they've made it to Earth, right?
No, they never made it to Earth. It was all out in space.
AVP was on Earth though.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was under the Antarctica. And
But I would like to add though that AVP was simply made only because people found the alien skull as an Easter egg in one of the Predator movies. So that's why that entire universe got created, is because it's one of the movies. So
we're not counting that as like canon?
No, it's not canon at all.
Okay, so if we're not counting that as canon, then aliens have never made it to Earth. We have to go to them in order for them to be a threat to us.
Just one ship. It's kind of like the plague on a galactic level. Like a rat will get on a ship, that ship will get back to Earth.
But no ship has ever come to Earth with the aliens in it, if we're discounting.
Yeah, well, I mean, they probably kill all the crew. But if there's a ship on like autopilot of some sort.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to being as we're human beings, we want to make this a human being type threat. So I'm just asking to make sure.
Well, I mean, we can also include the whole idea from Prometheus, I guess, too.
I never saw Prometheus. So really can't really comment on it.
Okay, we won't include that then. But
no, it's not a very good movie anyway.
But anywho,
I mean, I didn't like it. Sorry.
It's a bit of the aliens are a bit of a hive mind, right? They operate in a society similar to that insects do.
As I said, they're kind of like bees, right? They got
a
queen and
they got workers. The cool thing about the aliens is that whenever they come out of their victims, they absorb a bit of their DNA, so they come out looking similar to their hosts, but always stronger. So that way they can always grab more people of that species and them as hosts for their babies.
And how come they all look the same if their DNA enhancing themselves?
Well, they do look different. They're different. Yeah. They're different types.
No, they never looked different in the movies, as far as I was concerned. But that's just me.
There's subtle changes. They're not too great.
Okay, that's fine. Subtle.
There are several comic books that go into more detail because there's like a planet full of them where like some of the aliens used cows for their.
We're not doing comics here, Phil. We just did comics. We're
No,
into
I'm just
movies
saying. I'm
now.
just saying they'd have the aliens comics where they talk about this.
I'm just saying we're discussing simply movies right
Okay.
now.
Simply movie speaking, they do change, but it's ever so slightly.
Okay, that's all. That's all I'm asking. That's all I wanted to know.
Okay.
All right. So basically, though, again, my thing is we have to go to them, or as Twiggett stated, we have to have a ship on autopilot to come to us.
Why do they spell Darkseid S-E? I mean, yeah, S-E-I-D. That's weird.
Why are you looking that up?
I didn't want to know what he looked like.
Oh, okay. Kind of like Thanos if you watch the ending of the Avengers movie.
I didn't. Never saw it.
Only gray instead of purple.
All right.
Uh,
What's your movie villain?
who
McBeardy.
we asking? McBeardy. That's me.
That's
No,
great.
I chose a villain. You may have noticed a theme running through my villains here currently. It'll tie in with Darkseid. I chose a Hannibal Lecter only for the fact that he's just really freaking smart.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yes.
only like he has physical powers according to the movies. You know, he's very fit guy for being an older fella.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just as they say in I believe Silence of the Lambs. His they tried to take his IQ and it's untestable. Like he tests out so high that they don't have a number for it. I mean, it's got to the point where in some of the movies, it's like he knows what you're thinking better than you know what you're thinking.
It does
Which
help that he's also a psychologist too.
that's true. He's also a psychologist. Uh, but like, just think of that. Like, you got a guy who's basically hunting you, so to speak, and he knows what you're going to do before you know what you're going to do. It seems like sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, you add to that the fact that he will eat you. Like, not only will he kill you, he'll take your kidneys home or your liver, so to speak, and eat it with some fava beans
And your brain.
I like my
and
organs
your brain.
on the
I know.
inside.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what makes him scary. Like that goes on a taboo level at that point. Like that's one of those things that's like even if you have no knowledge of anything in the world, eating your people that you're with, not such a great idea.
Oh, hello, Clarice.
That's right. And not to mention the fact he's kind of creepy in a weird.
In a creepy way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in a creepy way. Thank you. I appreciate that, Twig.
Mhm.
I got lost in my own thought there. But yeah, I just like I said, he's just his intelligence level makes him so dangerous in that fact. Like he's not like an alien. He's not just running around doing whatever. He has a plan, and his plan probably better than yours because he's smarter than you are.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good villain. Pretty psychological based too.
Mhm.
Like I said, I'm using some psychology here on this. On
Aliens
my
plays to
villains.
our psychological fear
I'm
of the
not
dark
saying
and of
that's true.
aliens.
They kind of look like yeah, with the good job, and they kind of look like insects, which also plays off another fear
Yep.
of insects.
Looking at you, Misty.
Oh.
Felipe, what villain you
Okay. This one's a favorite.
All right, let's hear it.
It's Khan from Star Trek II,
Khan.
The Wrath of Khan.
Explain.
Okay, so Khan, um, he comes from an era in the Star Trek universe where he comes from an era of the human time period known as the Eugenics Wars. The Eugenics Wars is basically a time period in which humanity started to create supermen, genetically altered men who were stronger, faster, and smarter, um, in order to breed essentially the perfect humans. What happened is that these men also had huge ambitions to match their already increased perfections. And as a result, they waged a war to try to take over all of Earth, and they almost succeeded. They were, however, beaten, and as a result, a lot of them fled. This is where Khan comes in. Khan got on a spaceship called the Botany Bay, and it drifted aimlessly into space, where it was lost to all records and times, until James T. Kirk and the crew of the Enterprise encounter it in an episode known as Space Seed. In this one, they actually encounter Khan for the first time, and Kirk and Khan do battle. And now, when Kirk actually finally defeats Khan, he maroons him on a planet so that Khan can make the planet his own, simply because he wants the challenge. And so Kirk just kind of gives it to him. And this is where the Wrath of Khan takes place. In that movie, the sun that Kirk marooned him on went supernova, and it blew the planet off its normal orbit, and it caused the planet to turn into a desert. And as a result, he's had to survive on a desert planet with almost like no vegetation, and had to survive there. And so he devised a way to trick um, a signal from being sent out as a distress beacon to lure a Federation ship in, so that he can nab it and start his revenge against Kirk. What makes Khan, in my opinion, a really good villain is the fact that he's physically superior to any human. He's like 3 times stronger than a human. He's got the mind of a calculator. He's got the ambition of every of the world's greatest conquerors, like Alexander the Great and Napoleon, all combined into one. And he's got the charisma to boot as well. And not only that, but this guy's got one hell of a vengeance scheme. Like, he wants to kill Kirk badly. He wants to make him hurt constantly. This guy's just bad news. If he was ever allowed to run amok in the universe, he would end up creating and recreating the eugenics wars all over again with a whole army of supermen, and with the Federation technology ships on their side, they would probably almost win.
Whew. Thanks for the history lesson, Professor.
Yeah, you're welcome. I had to give a little backstory there.
So
McBeardy?
he's what, a Superman?
Yeah, basically.
He's a smart
Oh.
guy that's kind of strong.
All right.
That's what I got out of it.
That's what I got out of it. Yeah.
Who's just prideful.
Yeah. So that's his fallback. He's
Well,
pride.
while we're talking on the subject, which Khan? New Star Trek or old Star Trek? Which one do you like more?
What do you mean?
As in like appearance-wise, like the gray-hair guy or the sleek black-hair guy?
Oh,
Wrath of Khan or Into Darkness is basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah, which
Oh,
Khan do you like more?
I like Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan. With a little
Only
chest-
because it's the same actor who played in Space Seed, so there's a little bit of continuity there.
with a little chest showing.
That's actually a lot of people say that chest is fake. It's not. He's that buff.
Little chest showing. No hair though. We're not going 70s. All right, that's about to show to a standstill again.
A little bit, yeah.
Yay me. Well, I'm gonna have to. No offense to you there, Trevor.
Twiggets,
Whatever. You know, we're going old school today.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to you, but the aliens have to come to us, or we got to come to them. Khan can go wherever he wants. I gotta go with Khan because it sounds like he's a.
Well, if he goes
smart-
wherever he wants, he's gonna wind up running into an alien, get a face hugger on him, and then we have a Khan alien, a Khan xenomorph.
Sounds like Khan is a smarter, stronger version of a Hannibal Lecter. So since I chose a Hannibal Lecter, I gotta go with the smarter, stronger version of Hannibal Lecter, and I gotta go with Khan.
But we're not thinking about the unstoppable menace of the aliens.
They're stoppable. It's happened before.
Well,
you
Ripley
stopped
stopped
one.
them on several occasions.
Here's the fault of the aliens. They're
Tell me the non-existent fault of the aliens.
They're not smart. The reason why the aliens get defeated is because they're not intelligent. They operate on instinct.
That's what makes them so scary.
Exactly, but it also makes them really easy to defeat when you realize that they're just operating off of basic instinct, and you can just trick them. Like, every time the aliens have been tricked.
Like I said, I'm going with Khan on this one. Smarter, stronger version.
I will
of
go
Hannibal Lecter.
with a Khan xenomorph, a self-thinking alien.
That would be scary as hell, but
Yeah.
that's not one of our choices. So
I'm gonna go with both. I'm going with both.
We'll take that As a
You
vote
can't-
for Khan.
All right, we'll go with that.
It's a vote for one of each.
Well,
No, you can't vote for one of each.
It's one of
or
each.
the other.
Khan
Well,
still wins because he's at 3-1,
right.
but it's a
That's-
vote for each.
That's fine.
It's a compromise. We can deal with that.
All right, so we're gonna call Khan the winner.
And the world
as
ends
far-
because Star Trek won.
So we're gonna call Khan the winner of our movie villains.
Khan is the winner. Khan.
This is why I didn't want him to win. That's exactly why.
I didn't think that one all the way through.
Yeah.
My fault. All right, I guess we're moving on to video games.
Yep.
That's right.
Let's round it up.
Video games.
Okay, who wants to start?
Well,
this
I've been
one?
going first every time, so I'll just keep going.
Okay.
He has been going first every time. We've had an order. It's been Twig, it's me, and then Felipe.
Yeah, I try to keep
That's-
it. My video game villain is going to be Lavos from Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross.
Very interesting.
All right, I'm gonna need some
Yes.
some help.
Here
because
is
I've
my
never-
history
I've never
lesson
played-
for all you listeners.
Never played either one of these games.
Lavos is essentially an alien that just lands on a planet, goes down to its core, right?
Yeah.
And this rests and like just absorbs all the energy out of the planet until it pretty much runs the planet dry, and then it just destroys the planet, takes off, and goes again. And it's like a world eater kind of thing.
So he's very Galactus-like.
Yeah, and like he'll
Okay.
spread like his spawns around the planet. Monsters will come out of it. He's very strong. As in a boss, video game boss wise, he's pretty a tough boss.
Yeah.
So
You actually fight him in the video game?
yes, he is a video game villain.
I know that, but I'm just saying
Yes,
It doesn't seem like-
he is the last boss of Chrono
it
Trigger.
doesn't seem like some fight. It seemed like somebody you fight somebody before him, and then it goes to a cutscene, and you defeat both of them.
No,
somehow,
you
know?
actually fight him.
Okay, all right. That's all I'm seeing then. I just want to make sure.
He's very reminiscent of Genova and the whole plotline of Final Fantasy VII as a whole, which is why I picked Chrono Trigger, because Final Fantasy VII is kind of ripoff, if you think about it.
That's true.
Don't know anything about Final Fantasy VII either.
Yes.
We're in a little out of McBeardy's realm here as far as video
So anyway,
games. No,
Lavos, World Ender, my choice.
gotcha. I guess that leads to me then.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I picked a video game from my childhood. It was a little old school, but I picked Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. I mean, the man was a fighter, obviously.
Yeah.
He had won the tournament. What was it? 9 years in a row.
That's true. He did.
Yeah.
He was a grandmaster.
They needed one more to take over the world, basically.
Yeah.
And my biggest reason to pick him is he steals your soul. Like that is what you are. That is who you are as a human being, as a person, and he takes that from you. And he can become you at that point. He can shapeshift into you. He has your abilities and your memories. He basically steals who you are, and that's scary. Like no one wants somebody to steal what they are. Like, yeah, it's scary somebody destroys a planet or universe or whatever, but that's not taking.
He's destroying the universe one planet at a time, but he's not taking my soul. I don't
Okay.
care.
Go on the streets and ask people what would be scarier, and I guarantee you about 7 to 8 out of 10 people would be like, I don't want somebody taking who I am.
And then using it to morph into them in a fight
Yeah.
later.
Compared to everyone I ever know dying,
I'm just saying.
including myself.
He might take everyone you ever know and take their souls too. And then if you get
Not when the
into a
planet's
place,
destroyed.
then if you get into a place where there's reincarnation, heaven, hell, whatever you want to call it, you don't go to any of it because you can't. Your soul is gone.
Is that true? Do we know that for sure? What's the canon on Mortal Kombat Afterlife?
I have no earthly idea. I'm just basing it off religions around the world, okay? If you don't have a soul, you can't do it. And he took your soul.
Take his soul.
And you can't take his soul.
Watch
That's
me.
the point. Felipe, go.
Okay. All right. This villain is is simply named Zachary Hale Comstock. Now, a little bit of backstory here. He is from the video game Bioshock Infinite. And the reason why I picked him as a video game villain is because he basically became a prophet and led people into the sky using quantum physics.
So he's smart.
No. He didn't do it. He had people around him who were smart. It's a whole time continuum thing, but that's not really the whole point. The point is the fact that he is trying to basically usher in a dark area of humanity where he wants to, well, he basically wants the South to rise again. And he turns out to be the opposite of your main character. Spoiler alerts. He turns out to be the main character that you're playing, but he's the opposite of you. Right? He turns out to be the racist version of you as well. And the place that you walk in when you're up there to New Columbia, it's all beautiful. Everyone's walking around. Everything's nice and clean. But then you realize that they are racist as hell. They don't like anybody. And they think that, if you're not white, you ain't proper. And he takes the teachings of like the Bible and combines it with U.S. history and then turns the presidents into like God figures and has them being worshipped and having him being led as their prophet. I say that he is a pretty damn good villain because he embodies the aspects of a cult leader who tries to bring about an apocalyptic end to see his prophecy come true, all while trying to hold on to himself. And he'll do anything that he can to do so. It's crazy. He's willing to throw all time and creation into chaos just to make that happen.
I'm not seeing it, Felipe.
You can't. To the Sodom below.
I'm just saying this is.
Being in the sky is a bad place when it starts raining destruction.
He can't compete against Lavos. I'll give you that. But does Lavos have a cult?
Yes, actually, the reptiles all worship Lavos.
What? Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But does Lavos steal your soul?
He very might. It doesn't say that he can't. So.
Actually, he absorbs the life force, and life force has always been described in many religions as your soul. So
he absorbs the life force of the planet, not of the people.
And it's
but the people are on the planet. Yeah.
It takes the
people. Does it take the people too?
Yeah, he can absorb people. He doesn't do it often.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so if he doesn't do it often, then like, does taking the life force out of the planet actually kill the people? Like, are we absolutely certain of that?
The world.
Yeah, because the people are connected to the planet, and when they die, they basically decompose into it, and Lavos absorbs everything. It's basically the whole planet is nom-nommed.
He has a move called Destruction Reigns from the Heavens! Explanation point. That is literally the name of the move.
It's a pretty cool move, actually.
Yes.
Sounds like a neat move, actually.
The animation looks like Ultima from Final Fantasy.
Fine, I'm gonna vote Lavos.
I vote Lavos.
Yes. We all win one category.
Yeah, I was about to say it's kind of awkward. We all got one category each.
We did all win one category. That's
in our respective.
That is actually our kind of our respect. Wow, that was kind of weird. Yeah, that's. Just,
do we want to do any runner-ups, or do we want to do closing thoughts?
Let's do closing thoughts with runner-ups.
All right.
Closing thoughts with runner-ups.
Yeah. Who would like to start this one off?
Well, why not? Let's just keep the order going.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it.
Movie runner-up for me was actually going to be The Predator from the first Predator movie, because of camouflage and all that cool stuff.
But he got taken down by Arnold.
Sort of. Hubris. He got taken down by hubris.
All right, fine.
Comic book. I really didn't actually have a runner-up for that one. I was just drawing straws. The Scarecrow, because nobody likes to be scared.
That's just a weird pick.
I mean, like a normal person against the Scarecrow, that'd be horrifying.
Yeah, I mean, well, that wouldn't be my pick, but okay, go ahead.
Let me try to think of more.
It's your closing thought.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I don't like comic books that much. Villain for video games, I got two runner-ups.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of successfulness, one is the Reapers from Mass Effect,
Yeah.
and two is Kefka from Final Fantasy VI.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been my actual pick, but he only had his sights on the current world and not on a more galactic/universal site.
That's true.
But he did achieve essentially godhood as
Mm-hmm.
a human, so there's that.
Well, there's always something.
Yep. That's it.
I guess that leads to me, huh?
Uh-huh.
And my runners up. Um, my runner up for movie villain was I wanted to pick him really, I really did, but it was too on the nose, so to speak. Everybody wants to pick him. It was Darth Vader.
Mm.
Everybody wants to pick him because he killed everything and blah blah blah. We all know the story. And really, again, just I know we've said it before on various Wings cast, but episodes 1 through 3, just stop. Um, my video game runner-up, and I'm again going very old school on this because that's my video game preferences. Bowser, Bowser from the Mario series, because he literally took over a kingdom and turned everybody to stone because he could.
Mm-hmm.
Because why wouldn't he? And my runner-up and I almost picked him because he's kind of popular right now. And he's kind of the same as Darkseid, except without the Omega beams, which is kind of why I went with Darkseid. Thanos from the Marvel universe. Again, as I mentioned earlier, he was the purple guy at the end of the Avengers. He'll be coming back soon for Avengers 3, is the rumor. But he kind of has the same powers as Darkseid, except, like I said, without the Omega Beams, the anti-life equation. But he does have the Infinity Gauntlet, which grants him all kinds of powers. They're stones, and they'll explain that as the movies go along. So I'm not going to go into big detail here for you guys. So there you go.
My runner-up for the comic book villains was actually going to be Thanos as well. It was basically that, or like go with Lex Luthor, and I just Thanos seemed like the very obvious choice because he's got everything going for him. I thought maybe I'll go with an underdog. Good.
Yeah. No. How'd that work out for you?
That did not work out well at all.
Quick interjection. The Black Mana. That's my runner-up because anyone that can deal with Aquaman, they must be some sort of superhero all in their own right.
Shut up. You just typed into Google Aquaman
No,
villains.
I actually know the villain.
Okay. Well, continue on, Felipe.
Oh, for my movies, it was actually a hard one because I was gonna choose the ones from Natural Born Killers. Those guys were just crazy, but it was how senseless the violence. They were so desensitized to violence and murdering because of their childhood past that they basically became society's worst nightmare. But I thought as like villains went, they were pretty vicious. And runners up from them was going to be the people from the Devil's Rejects. They were pretty awful as well. And in terms of just about everything, I mean, they're pretty much the foulest of human traits you can possibly find. All the things that you don't like about humans, they're that and then some. Um, I think as far as video game villains go, I had a few choices there. One of them was going to be Darth Malik from the Old Republic.
Good choice. Good choice.
Well, let's see, I really like him because he's got the Darth Vader vibe, but he's got his own unique storyline. He was the apprentice to the main character, and then suddenly, the main character gets knocked out, of course, and loses his memory, and then Darth Malik is left to his own devices, and then he goes on doing his own thing, losing the bottom part of his jaw. He gets the Star Forge, starts pumping out a huge armada. It's great. It's
Are
good
you
story.
sure you didn't pick him the way you're going on here?
Maybe.
Maybe you should have. You would have stood
yeah.
a much better chance than freaking Comstock.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
Yeah,
Comstock
you would have.
was is a down to earth villain. People can relate to his evilness because he's a bigot.
Because he's racist?
Yeah.
I can relate to racism.
Well,
You
Wings
know
Cast
what?
fans, the Winger Knights,
Comstock wins in
there we
my
go.
heart. Take a drink out of this whiskey.
Wings Cast fan, just ignore that racist part. But anyway, go
Oh,
ahead.
oh, that's it. That's all I had for video. There's so many other video game villains though, but I just can't. I don't know. It's just
I mean, if you want to get technical, there's so many villains from each of the three categories.
yeah, but I know video games villains pretty well too.
Well, I mean, I could give you 100 comic book villains, and I'm sure Twiggets could do video games or movies, and all of us could probably do either one.
I
I
couldn't do
mean,
comics. I'd run out pretty fast.
well,
Yeah,
I'm just saying, together we could come up with a bunch for each one. You know,
we could, we could.
I wouldn't know good at video game villains. I mean, but I could help you out with movies and comic books. That's all I'm saying.
That is true.
So I mean, there's dozens we didn't mention, obviously, but you know, we were picking our favorites, so to speak, the best we could put forth, so to speak.
And thus brings us to the question to you, Wingenites. What is your favorite comic book villain, movie villain, and video game villain? If you wish, put them down in the comment sections below. You probably won't, but I'm going to ask anyways.
Just
All
in case
10 of
you
you that listen to this, if you've made it this far, at least put something in the comment section. Just
Yeah.
put something.
Yeah.
Let us know you're there.
Let
Yeah.
us know. Let us know you care.
Yes, let us
It'll-
know.
It'll make us feel good on the insides.
It will. From everyone here in the space station.
And the
Watch.
butler. We haven't mentioned the butler yet.
Oh, Fitzgerald. Yeah,
yeah.
all
We mentioned
yeah,
the butt. Yeah.
all of us here in the watchtower, along with Fitzgerald, bid you all a good day, and
You
you
can't
stay.
you can't see it, but I'm waving.
Yeah, you stay classy, San
I'm
Diego.
sorry we stayed so on topic.